On army request, BTS illegal army brings you under the protection of your ex-husband Jimin FF. No officer would agree to provide protection to a citizen. No one wants to scoff. I know, but there is one who is dying for this. Smacks. An officer steps out of the car, his demeanor speaking louder than words. Fine looking officer with a well built body. He traces his hand over his gun before reaching into his pocket to pull out his shades. Sliding them on, he strides inside. Two officers at the front gate and two at the back. Roger that, Captain. Salute. Captain Jimin? Yes. Jimin strides inside when his phone rings. He picks it up on the call. Sir, these divorce papers will expire soon. I am calling to ask you to please come and sign them, or else I will have to drop the case. Frustrated. How many times do I have to tell you I am an officer? I will come and sign those freaking papers when I have time. Stop calling me again. Sir gulps. Did Mayan sign them? No. Before the lawyer can say anything else, Jimin hangs up, smiling internally. Check the whole place. Inspect every person attending the event. Even a pocket knife is not allowed. Understood? Yes, Captain. They all salute and leave. Just then a car stops and a girl steps out wearing a white long dress looking ethereal. Captain Jimin, all done. Anything else? The officer stops mid-sentence, realizing Jimin isn't responding. When he follows Jimin's gaze, his eyes widen and he gulps. Sir, yes, annoyed. Sir, she is married. Please stop drooling, gulp. Jimin glares at him and the officer immediately scurries away. Theung chuckles, patting Jimin's back. The idiot doesn't know that you are her ex-husband. He tries to hold back laughter. You are also a senior officer. Act like one. Jimin strides towards you, signaling the media to step back. You walk ahead of him unfazed. As soon as you step inside, you walk up to the mic, standing tall as the chairperson of the Women's Right NGO. Hi, I am Mayan, chairperson of Hope NGO. I know the media has many questions for me. Please go ahead. The media fires off a barrage of questions. Jimin, however, is lost staring at you. You smile, answering each question confidently until Mrs. Mayan, we heard that you received a serious death threat. Would you like to share anything about that? Sighs. Yes, unfortunately, but this won't be a problem since a highly skilled team of officers has been assigned to protect me. Isn't this against the equality you always advocate for? You have a personal team of officers while other commoners don't. What about their safety? Aren't you contradicting your own principles? I am not denying anything. I am here as an NGO chairperson, and besides, these officers were sent by the government. We have also heard that you are married. Could you tell us your husband's name? Jimin and you glance at each other, momentarily lost in thought. Flashback. Stop it, Jimin. It's always work, and work. I'm an officer. You knew that when you marry me. You knew that the most night I would come home late and why. Then quit your job. If you don't have time for me, I live for my country and I will die for my country. Sincere. You scoff. Mrs. Mayan blinks. I believe in keeping it a secret. Jimin strides towards the mic. No personal questions, please. They are not allowed. Don't invade her privacy. He leans in and whispers something in your ear. Let's go. You don't have to answer anything you are not comfortable with. I will protect you. You look at him, your eyes widening in surprise, but you quickly gather yourself and leave the event. The press continues to throw questions, but Jimin signals the officers to stop them. As he walks beside you, he subtly places his hand on the side to shield you from the press. You glance at him, noticing that he maintains a respectful distance, not touching you, but is still ensuring your safety. Your eyes meet, and for a brief moment, you both get lost in each other's gaze. Just then, a man strides towards you nervously. Jimin immediately notices him and scans his every move. His sharp eyes catch the glint of something shiny. He spots a knife in the man's hand. Jimin clenches his jaw, poking his inner cheek, and without hesitation grabs the blade in his fist. His intense glare freezes the man in place, making him tremble. The man struggles to pull the knife away, but Jimin's unwavering gaze alone seems to scare him into submission. You gasp at the sudden action. Jimin, leave the knife, please. Without a word, Jimin releases the knife and immediately guides you towards the car. He gets in the driver's seat and speeds towards headquarters. His eyes remain fixed on the road, but every now and then he glances at you through the rearview mirror. Meanwhile, your eyes never leave his hand, which continues to bleed. As soon as you arrive at headquarters, you wait in a room. Hi, Mrs. Mayan. Is there anything you think we need to know? You don't respond, too distracted. Jin follows your gaze and notices where you are looking. Jimin trying to tend to his wound by himself. Let someone else question you. You glance at Jin before realizing he's already left. With a sigh, you stride towards Jimin and sit beside him. Let me do it. Gulp. Jimin frowns, looking at you as you take a cotton pad from his hand and start wiping the blood from his wound. He gets lost staring at you. You didn't have to do this. I had to. You are still my wife. You freeze at his words. Look at me and answer. If there was another girl in my place, would you do the same? Jimin gulps, opening his mouth to respond but stop midway. You chuckle. You didn't hold the blade because you love me. You did it because of your job. After finishing the aid, you stand up to leave when Jungkook enters. Captain Jimin, did she tell you why she is receiving threats? You bite your lips. Jimin shakes his head and strides towards you. Tell us, Mayan. Gulp. It's something that happened a week ago. 1 week ago, you are driving your car when another car overtakes you. You take a deep sigh and horn them frustratingly. You glare at them, but your eyes catch something from their back mirror. A girl is tied and unconscious. You quickly follow them and call your NGO's officer for help. A team of well-trained bodyguards work for your NGO, Hope NGO, which was managed entirely by women to protect women's rights. Having male guards was sometimes necessary for security reasons. Soon you spotted the black cars of your team approaching. Speeding up, you pulled your car in front of this suspicious vehicle, forcing it to brake suddenly. Your guard instantly understood the situation without needing any instruction and surrounded the car. A man stepped out and smacked. You are making a mistake, Mrs. Mayan. You were shocked but smiled. This is my job. People like you threaten me all the time, but no one has been able to touch me. You glared at them and quickly untied the girl, trying to wake her up, but she remained unconscious. Without hesitation, you signaled an officer to carry her to your car. Call the police and have them arrested. Present time. Where is the girl now? She is working in my NGO. I gave her a job. Jimin smiled internally, looking at you with pride. He had never tried to understand your work before, but now he admired it. Do you know who they were? You nodded. They are the members of the Kang gang. Jimin poked the inside of his cheek and gulped. That? He sighed deeply. You frowned, trying to read his expression, but before you could, he walked away. You know, in his entire career, he has solved every case successfully. Except one, the Kang case. You gulped. Don't worry, we will protect you. I mean, don't doubt Captain Jimin's abilities. He has solved more than 100 cases. I know. You walked away, leaving Jungkook frowning. How? He thought to himself, but then shrugged and left the office. As you walked down the headquarters corridor, lost in thought, a memory surfaced. Flashback. Jimin come home excitedly, throwing the door open and rushing towards you. Seeing you in the kitchen, he picked you up and told you around. You gasped at his sudden action, but keep your expression neutral. He sat you down with a bright smile. Guess what? You smiled, thinking it was something else, but as he continued, your expression darkened. I completed my 100 cases, and all of them were successful. You frowned. Mayan, my love, I am so happy. He tried to hug you, but you stepped back. So you are celebrating your 100 successful cases? Wow, congratulations on your century, Captain Jimin. You clapped sarcastically. Jimin's smile faded. And you forget your wife's birthday. Shit. That's it, Jimin. I am leaving you. Stay happy with your century, Captain Park. Mayan, please listen. A tear slipped from your eyes as you recalled the past. It had been 6 months. You both had tried to divorce each other but never showed up at the lawyer's office to sign the papers. You both loved each other too much but refused to talk about it. Lost in thought, you ended up outside the headquarters canteen. Your eyes landed on Jimin sitting at a table with another officer eating a burger but still busy on his phone. He is still handsome enough to make my heart race just by looking at him. Not gonna lie, but I say yes to his proposal only because he is handsome. Otherwise, I have a track record of rejecting 100 calls successfully. You emphasize successfully as anger bubbled inside you. Then he laughed out loud. His eyes smiled at your heart swiftly. Lost in your thought, you didn't notice him approaching. Stare all you want, he is yours after all. But Mrs. Mayan, you are blocking the entrance. Startled, you turn to see 6 to 7 officers waiting behind you. You bit your lip in embarrassment. Jimin noticed you and walked over. What happened, Mayan? Mrs. Mayan? You grabbed his hand, started dragging him away. All the officers, including Theon, gasped. Then Jungkook started his iconic whistle. Embarrassed, you quickly let go of Jimin's hand. He laughed at his teammates. You glare at him. Gulp. Yeah, this is police headquarters and you are all on duty. Act like it. Roger that. Salutes. You walked away and Jimin followed. Let me drop you off. No need, I am fine. You are under my protection. You have to take me with you. You sighed. He opened the car door for you and you got in. As he drove, you watched him thinking another reason. He looks hot, even when doing the simplest things. You bite your lips. Am I the only one losing in this separation? You pouted. Done staring? Raises an eyebrow. You quickly looked away. I mean, you can, I wouldn't mind, but allow me to do the same. You looked at him and he started staring back. Pressing the autopilot button, he let the car drive itself, completely lost in you. You gasped. Breaking the moment, you asked, I heard you failed to solve one case. When did that happen? Jimin sighed. My 101st case. After you left, I got a case against the Kang Mafia, but I couldn't get an arrest warrant due to lack of evidence. You formed an O with your mouth in understanding. Jimin chuckled sadly. I guess it was karma for forgetting my wife's birthday. Again, isn't it? Jimin laughed. Never. Your birthday is on Mayan's birthday. He said your birth date perfectly. It's the day you left me, Mayan. How could I ever forget it again? You gulped. I completed my century but lost everything that day. How could I forget? He looked hurt. Sometimes he wanted to forgive him, but he had never even asked for forgiveness. Would it be that difficult for him to just say, I'm sorry, Mayan, please forgive me. I will try my best to give you time. As his wife, you had every right to ask for his time. You smirked thinking, I will make you say it, Captain Park. You step out of the car as you reach your destination. Call me before leaving in the morning. Sharp 8. Wink. Jimin blinks, trying to process your playful response. Bye. You wave at him and stride towards the house door. Meanwhile, Jimin watches you, lost in thought. What is she up to? He wonders, sighing. Just then his eyes land on a car through a window. A man inside sneaks out a gun, aiming it at you. Without hesitation, Jimin swiftly pulls out his gun and shoots at the man's hand. Hearing the gunshot, you turn around, watching as Jimin rushes towards the man. But before he can reach it, the vehicle speeds away. Jimin quickly grabs his phone and calls Kang. On call. Note the car number. A black SUV on the district block 2. Ask the local police to block the road and check each and every car. One man got shot in the arm. Catch them and interrogate them hurriedly. You hurry towards Jimin. Are you okay? Concerned. Without thinking, you embrace him tightly. Jimin is shocked but eventually wraps his arm around you. He misses your touch. He wants to stop time and stay in this moment forever. Even after 6 months, he still remembers your scent. But today it feels different. It's not yours, it's mine. Realization hit him. She misses me more than I can. He smiles at the thought and embraces you even tighter. Interval. Take a moment to like. You push him slightly and pull him inside. Yeah, stay here. I don't want to die. I won't let you. Sincere. Stay here. I will go take a shower. I am using the kitchen. Sure. You smirk as you walk away. You are not afraid of death. You only said that to make him stay. You miss him too much and you are ready to admit it. He is cold towards you, but you will melt him. And you have the perfect plan. You come out wearing your night dress, a revealing one. Jimin looks in your direction and freezes his throat going dry as he gulps and bites his lips. He takes a step forward but stumbles slightly. Your hair is wet. He internally facepalm himself for stuttering. Oh, my dryer isn't working. Smacks internally. You lie knowing full well you left your hair wet on purpose. Tilting your head slightly, you let a few water droplets slide down your neck. Jimin's eyes follow their path before he quickly looks away, rubbing the back of his neck. I see. He clears his throat, trying to regain composure. You should try it before you catch a cold. You take a step closer, amused by his reaction. Then maybe you can help me? He stares at you, hesitant before finally reaching for the towel. Your fingers brush against his and he swears he feels a jolt of electricity shoot up his arm. His breath hitches, his heartbeat unsteady. Yeah, I will help. Instead of standing behind you, he sits on the couch and pulls you onto his lap. His finger trembles slightly as he gathers your wet strands, the coolness of your hair against his warm hands, making his breath hitch. He immediately regrets his decision because now he can't stop thinking about how close you are. He starts rubbing the towel against your hair, but his mind isn't on drying it anymore. His focus is on the way your scent mixes with his, the way your skin looks almost too smooth under the dim light. His breath grows uneven and the tip of his ears burn. He forces himself to concentrate, gripping the towel tighter, but then your hair brushes against his wrist and his finger accidentally grazes the back of your neck. Jimin freezes, a slow creeping heat spread through him. No, his palm starts sweating. His throat pops as he gulps, trying to suppress the warmth crawling up his skin. You shift slightly and he groans internally. That's it. That's my limit. Jimin abruptly drops the towel, his hand shirking back as if he touched something scalding. He shoots up from the couch, nearly tripping over his own feet. Try it yourself. His voice cracks. He inwardly cringes. You blink at him, clearly amused, before picking up the towel with a slow smirk. Are you okay, Jimin? You look warm. He scoffs, but it does nothing to hide the redness creeping up his neck. I am fine. He blurts, wiping his sweaty palms on his pant. You take a small step forward, and he instantly backs up, nearly knocking into your coffee table. I'm raised. Are you sure? Jimin inhales sharply, gripping the back of his neck. Mayan, I swear if you don't stop looking at me like that. He cuts himself off, shaking his head furiously before bolting towards the door. I'm leaving. He can reach the door. You step in front of him, blocking his way. He gulps, realizing you want to stop until you completely ruin him with your deep stares. You take slow steps toward him and he gradually backs away, trying to control himself. He knows he is on duty, but you are not making it easy for him. As he reaches the couch, you push him slightly, causing him to land on it. You hover over him and he swiftly yet delicately snakes his arm around your wrist. Mayan, stop it before we both lose control, please. You trace your finger from his cheek down to his chest. Say it, Jimin. I want to hear it. You never try to say sorry. Why? Sadly. Gulp. I thought sorry wouldn't fix it, Mayan. I delayed everything in my ego. No, Jimin. Say it. Maybe I have been waiting for just one phrase. Hopefully. Jimin swiftly lifts you off him and stands up. I won't change, Mayan. I will remain the same. For me, my country comes first. Your eyes glisten with unshed tears, but you hold back. You understand him. Of course you have to. He's an officer. Then I will understand it. Blinks. Jimin turns around in shock. It's okay, Jimin. Let's make a deal. Give me more time for at least 9 months only. Because if this country needs you, I sobs. And our child also needs you. Jimin freezes. Tears welled up in his eyes. Before he can finish, he rushes to you and embraces you tightly. Why didn't you tell me, Mayan? I found out a month ago. I wanted to tell you, but I am sorry, Mayan. I am sorry. I really am. I wanted to show up, but I didn't. I keep stopping myself. You hold him tighter. I love you. I promise to give you and our child my time. I promise, Mayan. I love you 3000. You smile. The next day at the headquarters, Kang didn't keep quiet, Jungkook. Did you get more info from the attacker? Yes, I did. Spill. Kang is going to kill the girl first, the one Mrs. Mayan saved. Then we have to save her first. Any clues on how he plans to do that? Jungkook shrugged. Call Jimin, tell him, and then bring her here. Meanwhile, Jimin is cuddling you as you sleep peacefully. He traces a hand over your cheek and smiles. But when he hears his phone vibrating, he carefully slips out of bed, not wanting to wake you. Yes, Dave, what's up? The man who tried to shoot Mayan, today we caught them. They are planning to kill or possibly kidnap the woman Mayan saved from Kang's grasp. I know Mayan told me she worked in an NGO. We have to go there to protect her. Okay, Jungkook and I am on my way. Jimin hangs up. He leaves a letter for you before rushing out. A while later, you wake up reaching for Jimin. Instead, you find the letter. My love, please take care of yourself. I will be back by 3 p.m. I love you. You smile and decide to cook his favorite food, but just as you begin, you hear cars stopping outside. Your heart pounds. You rush to your room, grab your phone, and hide in the restroom. You quickly dial Jimin. Hey, love. Soaps. Jimin. Mayan, what happened, baby? I need you. They came for me. The call disconnects. Shit. Battery dead. Face palms. Shit. Mayan, what happened, dude? Mayan is in danger. Ready to team Pali. With just that, he started running and jumped into his car. Hey, please be safe. Please, I'm coming. Please, Mayan, please. Sweat started forming in his palm and he quickly tightened his grip on the steering wheel. Beads of sweat dripping from his temples as he wiped them away, glancing at the time. Meanwhile, you placed your palm over your lips as soon as you hear the loud crash of your door breaking. Your senses scream at you. It had to be your house door. Tears welled up in your eyes as fear took over. They might kill you. You were never afraid of death before, but now you had a child with you. You had to protect them. Your hand instinctively moved to your stomach. Footsteps echoed closer. They were inside now. Their voices were audible to you. Find her, Pali. The door knob to the restroom rattled and your fear spiked. Sir, the restroom door is locked. Break it. You stood up frantically looking around. There was nowhere to run, no way out. It's the end. Jimin, please come quick. The door burst open and men rushed towards you. They grab you roughly and drag you to the launch, throwing you at Kang's feet. Leave me. Hey, Mrs. Mayan, looking scared today? Or else you are famous for the name tag, a lady that's never scared? What happened to that now, huh? You swallow hard. Look, Kang, we have no personal issues with each other. I just protected a girl. That's it. I was doing my job. Kang laughed sarcastically. Your job? He leaned down, grabbing your jaw harshly. And I am doing my job. Smuggling girls is my job. Disgust churned in your stomach and anger flared in your eyes. You abruptly yanked his hand away. A job? This is what you call a job? I serve my nation, my country, Korea, and you are disgrace to our country, you disgusting shit. Kang's blood boiled as he poked the inside of his cheek with his tongue. Another mistake, Mother Korea. You gulped. Beat her. No, scream. Kang's man grabbed you and slapped you hard. You hit the ground and the metallic taste of blood filling your mouth. Just then the door burst open and Jimin stormed in. Hua, Captain Jimin? Mayan. He rushed to you, kneeling beside you. Mayan, are you okay? Jimin! One of the Kang's men struck Jimin on the head. Blood trickled down his temple. They raised the weapon to hit him again, but Jimin caught it mid-air, twisting it out of their grip before launching into a fight. Hua, Captain Jimin, such a strong officer, but you failed to protect your wife and your child. Both you and Jimin froze. How the hell did he know? Before either of you could react, Kang kicked you in the stomach. Mayan screamed. Kang raised his foot again, but Jimin lunged, shielding you with his own body. The kick landed on his back instead. Tears streamed down your face, pain mixing with fear, not just for yourself but for Jimin. Suddenly, they and his team burst into the house. The room exploded into chaos. A gunfire filled the air. Make sure to arrest Kang. I want him alive. Oh God, shit. I never knew he was Mayan's ex-husband. Shut up and focus. Eyes roll. Gulp. Before that, I need to do something else. Jungkook rushed towards Jimin. Captain Jimin, take her to the hospital. She needs you today. Kang, leave him to us. Trust your team. Jimin nodded, lifted you into his arms and turned to leave. Jungkook, stay safe. Thank you. Smile. Jungkook smiled. Finally, you made him leave. He never listens to me. Well, I am the matinee of the team, more capable than you. They glared and Jungkook chuckled playfully. Jimin paced outside the hospital room, his hand clasped tightly as he waited. She is okay. And the child too? Don't worry. Jimin exhaled in relief, a small smile forming. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. He rushed inside to see you smiling at him. Go, they need you. Jimin shakes his head. You need me more. But I am fine now. My time is over. Go, Jimin. Don't let Kang get away. Not for us, but for all the other girls. He winked. Jimin kisses your forehead and turned to leave. Jimin, he stopped turning back. Complete this case too. I don't want to tell our child you left an incomplete case. Jimin smiled proudly and saluted you. You giggled. Jimin arrived to the house just in time just to see Kang attempting to escape. He smacked stabbing in front of him. They ended up in a fist fight. Kang dodging Jimin's attack at first. Jimin received a punch to the face, blood dripping from his lips. He wiped it away with his thumb smacking. Changing tactics, he struck hard and this time Kang couldn't dodge. You are under arrest. 2 years later, you had put your NGO work on hold, more like an extended vacation, until your child was old enough. It was the hardest decision of your life, but as a mother, you had to choose your child. You had served your country long enough. Every day you stood in front of the mirror and remind yourself of that. Jimin hugged you from behind. Our child is sleeping peacefully. Wow, what a view. You chuckled playfully, hitting his arm. He turned you around, resting his forehead against yours. I love you both, but you more. Don't tell our child, okay? You giggled. Because if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have this sweet family. Things had changed. Jimin had finally learned to balance work and personal life. Though duty still called at the most unexpected times, now you understood and supported him fully, and sometimes he did the same for you. As a mother, your duty was to raise your child, and Jimin was right there beside you. Life felt perfect. You just prayed it would always stay the way. I love you. He leaned in only to be stopped by the sound of your child cries. He closed his eyes in frustration, making you laugh. The end. If you really like the FF, please like, share and comment. And if you want to be the part of this illegal chims family, then subscribe to my channel. Annyeong.